guys, Mix here, and in today's video we are starting out the video in the Corvette, and that is because today we are going to be getting a quote on how much it could be to get this thing repainted and get some body work done. Pretty much everything on this thing I've done on my own, but just one thing I'm not comfortable doing on my own in my driveway is paint and body work. So I'm curious to see how much it's going to cost. So I might go to a couple different places, but I'm going to start off on one right now that has pretty good reviews. But usually what I do before I run it is literally do like a pre-flight check. So I'll start it up, let it run for just a couple seconds, and what I'm going to do right now is check the oil, usually check the brake fluid, everything like that. Just check the fluids, make sure everything is good to go. And then once I check everything and everything's good to go, then we'll head out. This is probably going to be the farthest I've ever driven this thing. We're going pretty far out of town. But honestly, I've been driving this thing enough that I honestly trust it mechanically, and I don't think we should run into any issues. Looking perfect, right at the full mark. So brake fluid looks pretty good. Just gonna top it off a little bit. Looks pretty much the same as it always does, but while the cap's off, I figured I'd just throw some more in there. You don't want to put it too high though, because you want to let the brake fluid expand a little bit once the brakes get hot. Check power steering too. Usually this is pretty good. Yep, looking good. You guys probably aren't gonna be able to see, maybe a little bit, but it is right there. Belts look good. Just gonna let it warm up a little bit. It's been a while since it's been driven, so everything's looking great though. Tons of oil pressure, good voltage, big quarter full tank. I'd like to see that. Even though I don't really drive this thing around much, it seems to have pretty good gas mileage, because I drive it around like town often. That's usually when you have the worst gas mileage, but so far, I mean, it's been pretty good, which I'm pretty surprised about, having heads, cam. Kind of weird, but I ain't complaining. But guys, this thing has been running perfect, and I don't want to jinx that at all, but mechanically, it has not given me any issues since we started, basically, when I first started driving it. It broke down all those times. Once we adjusted the carb after figuring out what it needed, it's been pretty happy ever since. So basically, all we really need to do is the auto body, like I was saying before, and I'm gonna get those new headlights for it also. It's the L88 racing headlights with the clear covers on them. I'm really not a huge fan of the headlights that are on it now. Like, I don't know, it's kind of like like a 90s Camaro type headlight. And I think they look good on Camaros, but on the Corvette, I don't know, it just doesn't really fit it right to me. And I know a lot of people are saying I should get flip-ups, but I don't know, there's something about the L88 ones that I really like. Oh, it's so fun going under tunnels with this thing. It's like thunder. Yeah. But if you guys remember, when I first started driving this thing, I kept grinding the gears, well, specifically 4th and 5th. That has not happened. I still don't know why. I guess maybe I wasn't pulling the shifter right, but I'm in 5th right now. Ever since then, actually when my friend Michael drove it, he basically showed me, and ever since then, it's been like butter. I have been thinking about getting maybe some like highway gears for this thing, because it is kind of annoying just only being really limited to around town and maybe some highway driving, but not for a long distance, because I'm at 40, I'm at 2,200 RPM, so definitely gets a little annoying, and I'm in 5th gear. It's really fun for low end, well, power, but I'm sure if we, you know, put a little bit of a different gear in the rear end, it won't affect power too much, because I feel like this thing will do fine on the top end. I've been getting pretty confident with driving stick, but one thing I want to get good at is downshifting. Usually I just throw it in neutral, but sometimes I'll, you know, start practicing downshift. Alrighty guys, so we're pulling up now. I'm going to turn off the camera, and well, hopefully you get a good quote.
Eventually.
Yes. So guys, we just got done checking out that place, and they said starting price would probably be around $6,000, just because the fiberglass really isn't in the best shape in some spots and everything like that, and stripping it down is going to be a little bit of a pain. So I'm just going to look for some other places right now, and we'll hit them up and, you know, see what we can find. Oh, hey, I just have a quick question. Do you guys do full car repainting for five?
Only if it was
Oh, okay. All right. Yep, no problem. Thanks. Bye. Nah, only new cars.
Hello, and thank you for calling All Collisions. Press 0 to speak to the next available operator. Hello, and thank you for calling All. Press 0. Hello, and thank you for calling. I'm unable to get to the phone right now.
Nothing. Alrighty, guys. So we're gonna go check out a spot. It's 2 minutes away. We just called, but they didn't answer. So we're just gonna check it out. It says that they're open, but they have 37 reviews and they're all 5 stars. And they say that they do classic cars and painting, so it's worth a shot if it's 2 minutes away.
Destination is on your left.
Destination is on the left. I see it El Camino. Oh, it went on power through. That's cool. Alrighty, guys, so that guy said pretty much the same price, a little bit more expensive. He said like 10,000, so a lot more expensive, but at the end it'll probably just end up being the same price because the other guy said starting price would be 6 and the guy said probably for everything it'll be 10. So there's another place that I'm going to check out, but it's kind of far, so I'm going to see if I can get a quote over email, like if I can send pictures of stuff and like how the body is, see if I can get a quote through there. So we're probably going to head back now. I'm probably going to send a couple emails and see what I could find. But on the way back, I want to see if the speedometer is right. So I'm going to use this GPS app. I've used it in the past, and it's really accurate. And I want to see if this thing is right at all. That's 34. Oh, I'm at 30. It's way off. All right, so my speedo's reading 45 right now, and we're going 50. So it seems to be like 5 miles an hour off, plus or minus like 3 or 4. So that's kind of nice that it's actually reading a little bit lower. Now I could go a little bit of a higher speed without being nervous about, you know, revving this thing up too high. All right, so like 55 miles an hour is 2,500 RPM. That's actually not too bad, as opposed to reading 45 or like 47 on my speedo. I broke down right here in this thing, and I'm at 2,500, about 55, so that's not bad. That's the highway speed limit. That was a nice downshift. It's reaching almost 10 miles an hour off at some points. It's like 5 to 10 miles an hour off. Yeah, that's well. We made it. Alrighty, guys, so this thing did pretty good. We were out driving it for like probably like 2 hours. But as you guys saw, this thing is going to be pretty expensive to get painted, so definitely give this video a thumbs up for me. Help get this thing painted. But like I said before, I'm going to email a couple that are a little bit far away. It's kind of cool that without the speedo's off, well, 5 to 10 miles an hour lower than how fast it's actually going. So 55 at 2,500 RPMs in 5th gear isn't ideal, but that's actually not as bad as, you know, I thought it was, because typically I'd be going 45 at 2,500 RPMs. So 55 is a little bit better. I'll take that. So I'm probably just gonna take a couple pictures of like all the cracks and everything, and basically all the like impurities on this thing, just so I can really get a good estimate of how much this thing will cost. If I could get some quotes via email, and I could try and get the best or most accurate quote if I decide to choose one that's far away. Once I get there in person, they're not gonna be like, this thing is so much worse than it looks in pictures. So I'm gonna try and make it look as bad as I can in pictures, so the quote can be as accurate as possible. So guys, with that being said, I'm gonna be ending up the video here. Kind of a laid back video, cruising around in this thing, trying to get it painted to look good, and so we can take this thing to car shows and whatnot. But I'll keep you guys updated on the quotes that I can get via email, and to see if I can lock down any good deals. And then again, I also don't want to cheap out with the paint. I do want this thing to look nice, so I'm going to try and get the best bang for the buck, if you guys know what I mean. But anyway, with that being said, I'm going to be ending it off here. Follow my social medias. They'll be on the outro of this video. Instagram and Snapchat I use the most. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe and comment and share friends with the channel, please, so we can get this thing painted.